Bitcoin has gone a little red in the past 2 days, so let's do an update here on Bitcoin's chart today, October 30th. Now, in today's daily candle, this is the daily chart for Bitcoin, we've had a fall down to the 200-day exponential moving average sitting at $108.3 thousand. And this happened during and right after Jerome Powell's speech yesterday. But as of right now, we are attempting to hold the bottom line of this channel that we have been in for several months now. If we can get a daily candle close above the 200-day exponential and the 200-day simple moving average, you could start to see a recovery here. However, there are some bearish things that we will go over. The first of which is still on this chart here is our Moxie indicator. Our measurement of momentum is still very much so below the zero and hasn't shown signs of turning around yet. Overall momentum on the daily time frame is bearish. But on the bright side, yesterday in the futures market, we did finally close this gap. In fact, we closed the gap on the wick and also the gap on the body too. So if we can get a daily candle close that's a little bit higher up above this line of support on the futures chart, that could also be a sign to us that, hey, we will start to have a recovery here. In fact, when you zoom in on shorter term timeframes like the 8-hour chart, you can see that momentum is actually bullish. It's above the zero on the Moxie, and we are in oversold territory, although not entirely oversold. So short term timeframes are saying, hey, this could be a bottom if we can avoid breaking these key levels of support. But because we have slid the past day or so, this puts us on the weekly time frame in a little bit of a dangerous situation, which is potentially having a weekly candle close below the 21-week exponential moving average, which puts us in a position of potentially falling and breaking below still to $100,000. So the key level here is by the end of the day on Sunday, we want to see Bitcoin at or above $111,100. And another bearish indicator here is the monthly candle. The monthly candle, we have 1.5 days to go before the month of October is done. It is red, and that's a nasty wick down, while we're pretty damn close to the 12-month exponential moving average. Normally, I would say, hey, we want to go down and at the very least touch this at $100,000. However, on November 1st, we might get some announcement of a trade deal between the United States and China because that's when President Xi and Trump meet. So there could be a news-driven event that drives the markets upwards. And also on the bright side, the Bitcoin liquidity heat map here, taking a look at high leveraged positions and their liquidation points over on Binance, has really lightened up down low. Billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars of leverage positions that could be liquidated if the market was driven lower have been removed. The financial incentive to drive us to below $100,000 is a fraction of what it was before. But when you zoom in on this chart, there are some pretty big paydays around 105,000 and just below to be aware, adding bearish pressure on the market. And regarding the ETF products yesterday, the Bitcoin ETF saw outflows of $470 million, while the Ethereum ETF saw outflows of $81 million. We'll start including the Solana ETFs next. Anyway, that is the update for the day. Keep your eyes on those key levels in the short term and on the weekly and monthly charts. Have a good day, do good things, be good people, make a bunch of money.